Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a update regarding on the Porsche Cayenne's health. A few weeks ago I did a community post regarding this car being unwell, and while there's been a lack of content recently regarding the Porsche Cayenne, I've had some work done with it and it's now driving absolutely brilliantly. There is still a few niggles, which is quite unfortunate, and one just occurred whilst I was coming here to film this exact video, which is really annoying. However, it's now driving brilliantly, so I'm going to do a quick brief video driving the car, explaining what actually happened, and I can't wait to drive it because it's brilliant. So I'll see you on the road. Okay guys, you now join me on the road. So where's the car been? Well, unfortunately, it's had an array of problems. I've owned this car since the back end of April, and now we're approaching August. My initial plan was to part ways with this mid-July and then move on to our next project car up for the series. And unfortunately, nothing's really been set in motion because this has been riddled with like loads of problems, which is a shame really, because I really have grown to like this car. I think it's absolutely brilliant and I love the concept of it. The expenses, not so much. It's just spent most of the time in its driveway waiting to be in a garage, or it's been in a garage, so I haven't really had a chance to sink my teeth into it. So what's been going on? So quite a while back I posted a video about the Porsche Cayenne being broken, and during then I had a little overlay of clips, and one of them was a leakage underneath the car, and yeah, that happened to be the steering rack. It had completely gone and it was broken, and I had it diagnosed, and that was the issue, and it had to be ultimately replaced. And that kind of explains, whilst doing my driving video, my first drive I think it was or something, why the steering was so heavy, and why I said it was so heavy. It wasn't because it was meant to be, it's because the steering rack was going bad. And not only that, it was making a lot of whine noises you can actually hear in the video, and that was due to the steering rack going bad. Unfortunately, I thought these were just mechanical noises of the car, and I'm not mechanically minded, so I didn't know what these sounds entailed. So I've been spending weeks just trying to get a quote from a garage, and they didn't get back to me. And the ones that did get back to me without inquiring said they couldn't get the part in anyway. Fortunately, I did have this booked in for a minor service brake fluid change with JGC Porsche, a Porsche specialist. And because so much time elapsed, well, eventually the time came for this to have its service. And then when I actually got there, and he asked me how's the car going, because we chatted on the phone a few weeks before when I first bought this car to get it booked in for its service. And I told him quite straight that I've had a diabolical experience of just many problems happening all the time. So we got talking, and they said leave the car with us, and if anything additional needs doing, they'll have a look into it and see if they can rectify or fix it. And then they got this steering rack in, and I thought that was absolutely exceptional, because they only accommodated me to get the brake fluid and minor service done, and they managed to get all the additional work in, and the car's back with me a few days later. So yeah, massive thank you to JGC Porsche. So yeah, if you want your Porsche worked on, I highly recommend JGC Porsche, especially if you're in like the Oxfordshire, Buckinghamshire, Northamptonshire region. Then yeah, I'll definitely go and visit them to get your car looked by them. Anyway, that's enough story time. Let's pull over somewhere and let's talk about how much this all cost me in the end. So I'll see you there. Okay guys, let's do the fun stuff and talk numbers. So how much did it cost? Well, I've got all the paperwork here, very organised and neat. So this is the one from JGC Porsche, who carried out all the major work. So they did a minor service, the brake fluid change and the handbrake release had an issue, and they also checked the power steering leak. So this is the labour. They carried out minor service as required, did a brake fluid change, replaced the steering rack using new inner and outer steering arms, bleed through the system with new PS fluid, investigate the ABS and PSM warning, which was bad wiring, and they tested to make sure it's okay. That labour total was £540. The parts: inner tie rod and outer track rod end, foot brake damper, engine oil, sump plug washer, and the steering rack, which I'll tell you how much that cost in particular, which was £695 for the steering rack. All those parts total costs £852. Oils and lubricants, you got your engine oil, brake fluid, power steering fluid, screen wash, cool antifreeze, £124. And then extras, they carried out a geometry, and that was £60. So let's just flip it over to see the total. So including VAT, the total cost was £1,892.19, which, yeah, it really hurts to read that and say it to you guys. And it gets worse because they also noticed my discs and pads on the front were low. So I went and got those changed later by a company called Design 911, which they're very reasonably priced actually. So I sourced out some front discs, some front pads, and some front sensors as well, and also like a brake pad pin kit, because they're a nightmare apparently to change, so you're better off getting them. And including VAT, it was actually not bad. It was £253 including the VAT as well. So yeah, that was not really welcome, and because it's not really a job I can really do myself, especially with the pins and stuff, yeah, labour to get that done at a garage was an additional £203. So let me get my calculator out and I'll total it all up to see how much this all cost. Okay guys, I've got my calculator out, so let's total everything up. So the work at JGC Porsche cost me £1,892.19 plus all the parts from Design 911. Very reasonably priced actually, £253.73 for all of that. £253.73 plus the labour to get it all fitted, which was £203.52. So the total to get all of that done, just to get the car roadworthy, was £2,349.44. Wow, that is a lot of money. So what can we take away from this? Well, if there's a lesson to be learned, it's the grass isn't always greener when buying a car which is nearly 20 years old and done low mileage, because all the components probably haven't worn enough, and you may be left with a car which needs to get loads of stuff doing. And because I'm not really a mechanically minded person, I wasn't able to spot all these things when viewing the car. So a lesson to be learned is to take someone with you who knows what they're looking at. And I guess that's a silver lining really out of all of this. Although I'm very out of pocket, it's also a lesson learned from myself, definitely, and anyone who's watching this who's like me. Yeah, it's a silver lining that you might be able to learn something from that. So yeah, well, now the car is actually roadworthy. That means I can now enjoy it and produce content, which is fantastic. Well guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this rather expensive video, and if there's anything you want to see regarding the Porsche Cayenne, then please do let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.